Hi all, this is Dr. J, streaming live from Long Island, New York, and my buddy Jay.
Yeah, from Colombia still. Many in
Yeah,
Colombia.
yeah, I don't blame you. It's summertime in Colombia. There's very little virus, if any, right?
Um,
Yeah.
so far, have like 100 cases, a little bit over 100. This weekend we are doing a drill, a quarantine drill. It's not, for 3 days.
Uh,
So I am stuck in the house. I've been in the house all week, so I can't leave the house until Tuesday.
Basically, the whole state of California is under lockdown.
Yeah, technically it's not shelter in place yet, right? It's just an order to stay home.
I think it is shelter in place.
It is shelter in place.
I think so.
Hmm.
There's 40 million Californians. They said as many as 25 million are expected to get it.
Hmm.
It's quite bad. Hey, Dustin. Hey, Snaid.
Hey
Yeah,
guys.
it's quite bad, and so bad that I have my Lehman hat on as a comparison. I don't know if this even rivals what's going on today. The collapse of Lehman Brothers set off a sell-off that took us down on the Dow Jones to 666, lucky numbers, right? Or
Hmm.
around that. Yeah, 6,660, whatever it was. And that was that was about 60% from peak to trough. That was some sell-off, and I have a feeling this might rival it. Cabinet guy is here from the Green Mountain States, and AJB wants to know what's up. Dr. J and Jakey boy. All right. So what's up is we're feeling a little down, but not to fear because Dr. J said April 1st we're going to play ball. Even if I have to throw out the first pitch in Yankee Stadium, I'll do it myself. I'll throw out that first pitch and say play ball on April 1st. And then I'll go over to Citi Field and I'll do the same thing for the Mets. So I'm gonna take a picture of how I snuck in past the 80-year-old security guards and threw out the first pitch. And you think that'll go viral, right?
I think so. I think you should do it. Matter of fact, you should film your next show
From
from there.
City Field.
It's being a Friday.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So
Matter of fact, do it on Wednesday with Spike because I don't want to be your co-conspirator.
okay. You don't want to go to jail.
Well, no, I can't go to jail because I'm in Colombia and they don't want me back anyways in the
I
United
don't
States.
want you back. I got it.
Yeah, so I should be good actually. We can do it on Friday.
Cabinet guy says it'll be the Red Sox Yankees playing opening day. Dr. J on the mound. I don't think I can reach home plate anymore. Right? Since I broke my shoulder, my arm is gone.
Hmm.
So I'd have to throw it on a bounce, maybe several bounces to get from the mound to home plate. Maybe cabinet guy will come, and with two of us together, he could be my backstop, the catcher, and he could represent Boston Red Sox.
Nah, no issue.
Yeah, so, but it's not a good place to hide from the virus, is it? It's still, there's 100 people you said that have it.
Yeah, it's like 100 people, but next week I'm gonna spend a week or two just in the mountains by myself, no one around. Well, me and my girlfriend will.
Right.
So I mean, I'm stuck in the house anyway, so I might as well be in nature.
I think that what we're going to do is before we get started, take 30 seconds of silence just to allow everyone to do a silent prayer that this pandemic end quickly and that we all be spared from it. Okay, I was beginning to fall asleep. That would be bad.
No,
No,
yeah.
I actually think it's appropriate
Oh
to take
yeah.
a small amount of time every day and pray that this thing go away. Because it's we don't want to see our friends and relatives get sick. Some of them die. This is a serious, serious thing. It transcends whether we're making money or losing money in the market.
Yeah. And here's something different, that I realized, right? You ask the difference between 2008 and the coronavirus. I mean, one big difference is that we have a common enemy. You know, Basically, if we get rid of this thing, this entire thing is over. I believe in a full recovery after. But as investors, you can actually do your part by picking stocks and companies that you feel would contribute to providing a solution. Be it therapeutics, vaccination, antivirals, even food delivery, right? So it's a little different because you can actually invest in the solution for crisis.
Yeah, and it's also different in that everyone didn't seem to lose their jobs. I mean, the unemployment rate went very high, but here it looks like everyone is losing their jobs. Waiters, anyone who works in a restaurant, just right down the line, so many jobs are being lost. And how about all the illegals that were doing construction work or farm work? What are they going to be doing? It's really scary,
Yeah.
very scary. So it's the impact on the economy, but it's the impact on our lifestyles. Who knows how long that we're going to have to be social hermits. It's outside of the internet, outside of YouTube and social networking like Facebook and so on. We don't have that much contact with friends or relatives, for that matter.
Yeah, but there's a flip side to that too. Like even this week, I'm stuck at home, and I had so many conversations with family and loved ones, the kind that I haven't had in the past, maybe because I was too distracted or whatever. But when you're basically stuck at home with nothing to do, it's ironic because I find myself to be able to rekindle a lot of those connections that I once had. So
Right.
there is a newfound appreciation for human contact and connection
Yes,
that this situation created.
yes.
Silver
We,
lining.
we don't realize that. I mean, they call it social distancing, but there's nothing social about it. And until you actually suspend contact with the human race, you don't realize how much we need each other. We need to socialize. We need to be with people other than just our wife or just our girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
I miss my friends. I miss my grandchildren who I'm not allowed to see for another couple of weeks till everyone is sure that there's no virus in their house or whatever. It's crazy. It's totally crazy. So what do we do in terms of the stock market? A lot of my friends have bailed totally from the market. I don't blame them, but I'm still in it to win it. And fortunately, CVM and ATHX, two of my biggest holdings, are holding up, and that's keeping me.
Well, yeah, no, CVM did really well.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially in the last couple of days. There was a really interesting trade block at the end of today. I think it was like a couple 100,000 shares.
yeah.
Wondering what's that about, but you should chart that later on.
We're going to chart it. We'll chart I also want to chart the Qs, which is the only major index not to have fallen below the December 2018 lows. I suspect it may, but it's funny. It led the charge up. Technology led the charge up. The NASDAQ 100 is primarily technology. And that led the charge up. And normally when that happens, when there's a collapse, those are the stocks that lead the charge down. Not this time. This time they're still the best performers. So the Apples, the Amazons, the Facebooks, they're holding up relatively well compared to the rest of the market, which I find interesting. And also I find it to be a strategy. I find that I've been selling stuff and buying Amazon and buying Walmart and buying, I haven't really bought Apple, but I may. And we have a request from Alex about AXSM, another biotechnology stock. There's one that really popped today, 71%. Did you see that one, Jake?
Which one?
TNXP.
TNXP, I saw that, not in it. But yeah, I saw that. It was,
they basically went up 40 pennies, which was 71%. I think they're about $1 now, something like that. And what they're doing is they're presenting their data on a vaccine candidate for coronavirus directly to WHO. They're bypassing FDA, bypassing the EU. They're going to the WHO. Maybe that's the way to go. Maybe you got a better shot of, if you show efficacy, that they would be quicker to approve. I don't know I don't know what it means for who to recommend or approve, but that's their strategy. They're going directly to who.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's well, my favorite player right now is AIM Autoimmune.
I'm in AIM.
You're in AIM?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did a lot more DD on it, and I'm bullish. I think one of their board member, the chairman, is a WHO board member as well. He's like a world-renowned science. I forgot his name. He's a Japanese guy, but they're doing a study in Japan right now. Should come out with some preliminary data, but interesting to go directly.
AMZN is a very versatile drug that they have. So I wouldn't be surprised if it showed efficacy against coronavirus. AMZN is
that their CEO is like a boss. The guy used to fly Cobra helicopters in Vietnam, and then now he's a knight. Like he's literally a knight. He got knighted a couple of years ago, something like that. So as far as good character CEO goes, AIM has it.
We're all looking for unusual businesses to invest in. Medication delivery, that's MED, apparently.
Yeah.
There's another one with a pop.
I'm in MED.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. Huge pop.
As of when? As of today?
Shit, this morning.
This morning. All right, so ATHX had a hell of a big pop today and pulled back, but it only gave up from the open, not from the close yesterday. It lost pennies. So all in all, I'm happy with ATHX. It's made a nice move up from its lows just a week ago. So I think it was trading at 116. Now it's trading at 171 at the close. 178. I don't know, 178, I think it was.
Yeah, it went back positive to positive. That's good.
It actually took out the old high going back a ways of I think it was 214. Took that out. And now it only has to take, there's only one other high to take out. That's $3. That's an all-time high territory.
So what do you, so let's talk about ATHX, right? So what do you think the next catalyst is? What should we look for in ATHX?
Partner. Gil was hinting during the conference call about a partner. I think that's coming. I mean, he's been
Partner in
talking
Japan,
partner.
in China.
I don't know. He's been talking partner for a long time, but I think for odds now, he will get a partner considering the excitement with coronavirus. Jason Colbert, the analyst that has been following this company a long time, did a video which was did a interview with Bloomberg Canada, I think it was, and that made the rounds. And he was very bullish ATHX as a coronavirus play. He also mentioned MESO, and PSTI, which are also stem cell companies that are similar.
I'm in PSTI. That's the Australian company, right?
They're Israeli, and they're way behind ATHX in terms of trials for
Yeah,
the,
way behind.
for the same indication.
Yeah, it came out with a PR today, and then it was in Hebrew, and then they translated an hour or two.
Right.
Hmm.
What is Chris is talking about the pop of ARWR?
Not that one.
Maybe. I mean, Alni is another coronavirus play, and ARWR is not, but it's in this DNA modification business, gene editing or whatever they call it. I don't know. ARWR is when I got out of it about 30, and I may just get back in at about 30 because it's approaching 30, and I don't want to miss this run if it is going to run. So I might be forced to buy it. So Dustin got into Med as well. I did not. The only coronavirus plays I'm in now are ATHX, CVM. I think CVM before long will make coronavirus headlines. Don't count get out on leaps.
Yeah, I mean, the leaps is interesting. You know, the market didn't take it very well when it came out. You know, probably because thinking CVM was losing focus on, you know, what's at hand, right? But okay, so for leaps, what are we looking for in that? You know, like what's the best case scenario? Funding from the government?
That's one, and maybe just a compelling drug that could be, you know, tested quickly. And who knows? I mean, if anybody could do it, he's like a magician, Gad. He's been working with leaps for a long time. Leaps for Ebola, leaps for other things. So they have plenty of experience with this stuff. So I don't take it lightly, that PR. It looked like fluff, but knowing Gad, it's not fluff. Not fluff. They're gonna make a move based on coronavirus sooner or later. Don't know when.
I mean, I guess right now for multi-kind, you know, we're just waiting on data. So I don't mind Gert spending some time on leaps while we wait for data.
No, I mean, what else is there to do? You got your hands on your hips waiting for the data. You're not, you know, there's nothing to do on that. Hadn't that trial anymore. So why not put your people to work?
He could go around, pump the stocks, but we all know it's either, hey, it all depends on data readout anyways. I mean, I guess funding would be something he can spend time on. So it was me, 50% time on leaps, 50% of the time on funding. Because I don't need it.
Yeah. Well, whatever Gert says, like I said, I don't take lightly. The man he's a proven miracle maker, I think. Not proven, but I think he is a miracle maker. As of yet, unproven. But if he said something, I don't take it lightly.
What did Gert do before CVM?
What did he do before?
Yeah,
I don't know. He's been there 25 years, so before is a long time.
yeah.
He's
Couldn't
the
find
founder.
it before. Yeah, it seems like his entire career after school was
Yeah,
CVM.
he's not that old a guy, so yeah. I think this is it. He's not a medical doctor.
No,
I'm
he's a
not
lawyer
sure.
in an MBA, I think.
Yeah, so but he's a visionary, just like Elon. Elon wants to turn his factory into a ventilator factory. I say, go ahead, turn it in.
Yeah,
Trump should get behind that.
that's great.
Take him up on it. He wants to be a patriot. Let him be a patriot.
Yeah, I've seen more gesture of kindness this week, in this country, in the U.S., than I did for like the entire year to date, not one full year.
Yeah,
But
and the TIVA is another one. They're willing to give away, I forget how many billions of these hydroxychloroquine pills that they make. It must cost them pennies, but they're willing to give it away. Their
yeah,
manufacturer of that anti-malaria drug.
yeah, chloroquine. I mean, very exciting news, and that kind of relates to LJPC, right? The chloroquine drug, because
Yeah,
La Jolla has,
but
some
they're willing to give it away. They said we'll just give it to you.
cheap. It's cheap, super cheap.
Very cheap. It must be.
Yeah.
And I know South Korea had the lowest mortality rate of any country, and they were using it throughout the illness. They were using it together with zinc.
Yeah, I actually did some research on chloroquine, and it seems legitimate, especially in the medical community. It's well accepted. Um, yeah, LJPC bought in more this week at in the high threes. Um, yeah, Tane needs to do something and quick,
Uh,
especially with the malaria medication. I mean, at least put it on the map, right, with that, because LJPC has the only severe malaria medication. Now, it's unclear to me whether or not it still has the same efficacy on something like a coronavirus versus chloroquine. So I haven't done the research on that, but it is a malaria medication. So
I have no idea. I have no idea what area the drug works, but if it works, it works. Who cares why?
yeah, apparently chloroquine, what it does is that it pumps zinc into the cell, and then zinc, once it goes into the cell, it basically blocks the virus DNA from replicating, and it's been extremely effective. So, like, I'm not a medical doctor, so I wouldn't be able to tell you, but that's what I've seen. I don't know if La Jolla's drug can do that. I haven't looked into it, but if it does, I mean, it'd be great PR for them. And matter of
Yeah,
fact, they should get priority review voucher if that's the case. But the company has been extremely quiet. I've eventually reached out to people in the company, no response whatsoever. So
oh yeah. I haven't
oh yeah,
tried quickly. Maybe I
yeah,
will. In any event, let's get to share screen and look at a couple of charts before it gets too late. We can just bullshit about, in general, but I want to look at some of the charts. Let's look at the Qs because that's one index that has not made new lows from the December 23rd pre-Christmas day. when we turned in all the lows of all the indices, 2018 Christmas. So it did not. If you look at the chart, there's Christmas Day. This is the weekly. And here we are with 3 dojis in a row, 3 weeks in a row. Isn't that weird? You got a doji for the week, the third week of the sell-off, well, really the second week. First week was the solid red. And the third week was a doji, ending the week with a doji that was towards the bottom of the candle, showing pretty weak looking candle. But the next week was a better looking doji, indecision of course, but it was about halfway above the halfway mark up the candle, a little more positive. And now we go a little more negative again on this weekly doji, but 3 weeks of indecision. So that tells you the market is still indecisive on the Qs. The Q is the best going up and the slowest coming down. So that is very unusual. So I think if you're going to stay in the market, you should pick and choose from the NASDAQ 100 stocks, maybe the best performers, like an Amazon, an Apple, perhaps. Look it over, pick and choose. It's probably a good time to hunt for quality stocks in the NASDAQ 100 that have had a little bit of a dip, because they led us up, they're slow to give it back, and they'll probably lead us back up out of it whenever the time may be, whatever that time may be. I'm not saying tomorrow we're going up or Monday we're going up, but I am saying that probably the Qs will take us back up, just like it took us up originally. So if you want to nibble, maybe you nibble a little bit now. You'll nibble a little bit if and when it goes below the December lows, and you nibble a little bit more at numbers like 1700 Dow, something like that. Well, I don't know, on this chart, probably I'd have to take a look where I might nibble some more, or where this thing might stop. Oh, it's hard to say from this chart, because this is only I don't know how many year chart this is, but it looks like we have significant turning point right in here on the weekly, 94.84. Oh, that's a big ways down. Hope we don't get there. Let's look more optimistically. This is not too optimistically. 117, 114. That's pretty pessimistic. Let's go for the most immediate looking support area, right around here. I'm going to draw a line. This might be a good point for it to stop if it crosses the December 18 lows, right about in here. Yeah, that looks like some support. That's pretty low. That's already 137 on the NASDAQ, 135.80 on the NASDAQ. Another 35 points. That's pretty awful. But if it gets there, you probably come in with fresh money. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to invest because it looks like the end of the world. It looks like we're headed for the worst depression we ever had. And we may be, or who knows, maybe this thing clears out by the fall and we start coming back like crazy. Anything is possible. It's just you have to understand viruses. I don't understand viruses. To handicap this market, you have to predict viruses. That's not my field. Even Fauci has no idea really when it's going away. So it's a tough one, but I don't blame people who have gotten out. Good luck to them. I hope they get back in at the right time. I'm moving assets around as opposed to just getting out. That's what I'm doing. I want to look at CVM and ATHX, two stocks that are keeping me in the game. Personally, ATHX, I have a very sizable position in this, and I felt pretty good about the move up to new highs today, even though it pulled back. Let's go back to the daily on this one. As soon as it loads it. ATHX has a lot going for it with Gil van Bockelen at the helm. Another dynamic CEO, not quite as dynamic as Get, but I would say he's pretty dynamic. Dynamic fellow. I think he's out of Stanford, and I think he's also a geneticist. He's a PhD. I don't know if he's an MD. He's a bright fellow, articulate, hustler. I don't mean that in a negative way. I like him. He's a good man at the helm. So let's draw some lines. All right. And he hired somebody very prominent to be the new CFO. Somebody with a lot of experience, big pharma experience. So I like that hire. All right, so we have a high of around 203 that we took out, but I think we took out a more significant high today. Yeah, let's click one more time on this. All right, so we took out this high as well. And what's left? What's left to take out is the multi-year high of, I think, around $3. We took this out. So all right, let's look at all these highs successively that were taken out. This is what's left. So there was a series of highs. I can't see. How do I X this out? It's about $3 where I drew the line, but I can't really see it. Maybe if there we go. So it's got to be pushed up a little bit above $3. A little bit more. All right, so about 308, 309, something like that. That's all that's left to take out. We've taken out every other high along the way. The last one being this one back in September 2018, December 27th, I think it is. So we took out that high. Now all that's really left in terms of resistance is the 309 high, and then it's off to the races. So we move up for whatever reason to break this $3 mark. I think it keeps going pre-data to maybe as high as 10, even in a bear market, especially if it finds use as a coronavirus drug. Then the sky is the limit on this one. $10 before data, and come December, if the data is as good as it's advertised to be, this could be a $100 stock. It has the same potential as CVM or greater. Of course, along the way, you're going to see the financing along the way. They need cash infusion. Well, unless they partner up. If they partner up, they don't need it. So one or the other. I think personally that there very well may be a partner in the near-term future as a catalyst that will take care of their cash problem. That's what I'm hoping for. whether it's odds, coronavirus, or who knows, maybe even ischemic stroke in EU in the States, who knows? Whatever it is, I see a partner in their future. They did partner up with Roche before in a failed trial on ischemic stroke, but it was because of the way the endpoints were constructed that it failed. The data was actually pretty damn good if administered in a 36-hour window, and as opposed to a 3-day window. So they had too big a window, and that's what caused it to fail. But Roche abandoned them, so that now they're on their own with a much better constructed trial. The other thing that was a little iffy in my mind is it seems to have done better compared to standard of care the further out you went, like a year to a year's time, a year follow-up. But the first data point is a 3-month follow-up where they weren't that great. They were good, but not as good as the 1-year mark. All right, so enough about the fundamentals. The technicals, you can drool over them at this point, even with today's pullback. It just took out high after high after high during this week. So it's showing a lot of life for a stock that's been latent for a very long time. It's been laying latent for months and months and months, doing nothing. And all of a sudden you get this spike, and you get this spike, and then you get the big one today that took us as high. Yeah, was that today? That was yesterday. That took us as high as 228. And today, was that today? That's today. 228 today? Wow.
Yeah, it's like 190 right now. Yeah.
228 today. That's one hell of a move. So, like I said, you could drool over the chart. You have a lot of potential catalysts. Number one, in my mind, being partner. That's number 1, 2, and 3. Number 2 would be awaiting odds data, probably mid-year or early 3rd quarter, something like that. And finally, 4th quarter results of the entire treasure trial in Japan for ischemic stroke. So I think they're going to meet their projected target deadline time, not deadline, calendar dates, estimates, whatever you want to call it. In the past, they've been notoriously bad about hitting the dates on the head. They pushed everything back constantly. But I think this time it's going to happen smoothly. Get the odds data out, get the ischemic stroke data out, and hopefully this time we get better luck than we did with Roche. We also partnered, I think, with Pfizer on an earlier trial for another indication, same drug, multi-stem, and that also failed. I think that was in the States. I don't remember exactly what the trial was. I think it might have been for ulcerative colitis. It was before I got into it. So I don't really remember exactly what it was, but it might be. Might have been ulcerative colitis or Crohn's or something like that, which is an inflammatory disease. So I guess they figured multi-stem with its anti-inflammatory properties would be appropriate. I'm unfamiliar with the data from that trial. I'm not even sure that's what the trial was. So I'm just playing it from memory, and my memory isn't what it used to be. So no guarantees on what I'm saying is true. But I am pretty convinced that regardless of its past history of a couple of failures, this one is more likely to succeed than fail. So I'm very enthusiastic. I've got a lot of my do-re-mi wrapped up in this. And if this one makes it to 100, I'll retire again, Can I do that, Jake? Can I retire a second time?
Well, you come out of retirement.
I'm out of retirement. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, so you think it hits 100 based on the market size and
Yeah, the market size is it's still very low, right? The market size must be a couple of 100,000. Not sure exactly what it is. I could take a look on my phone. Got me curious. Do you know it offhand or no?
No.
All right, I'll take a look.
The market size?
Market cap.
Oh, market cap. Yeah, I'll take a look.
It's probably a couple of 100,000. So 100 would not be out of the question.
Yeah, market cap is 300 mil.
300 mil. That's nothing. So let's say it goes to 3 billion is 10 times. So like $20 is 3 billion and times 5. So 15 billion, it's possible. It's not impossible because, ischemic stroke is a huge market. And then they find other indications for it. MESO is another one I like, MESO, because they're the Australian equivalent of ATHX. Now, while ATHX is pursuing ischemic stroke, the other company is pursuing myocardial infarction, which is another huge opportunity. So I would be, I am thinking very seriously of taking a decent sized position in MESO, which has pulled back recently. I'm not sure why. I'd have to look into it because I don't really know the fundamentals on MESO. But, oftentimes when I'm in a company, I like to be in its rivals or possible competition. And that goes for Floristem as well. All right, so we talked a lot about ATHX. One more, which we wanted CVM, right?
Yeah, we got to do CVM.
CVM, and we'll wrap it up. We're doing very few companies today in detail, but tonight in terms of charting, but we are doing it in a lot more detail than we normally do. So we're spending a lot of time on ATHX and CVM. And CVM reached a high on February 20th of $17.80, which seems like an eternity ago. But just like the market made an A, B, C correction, which it clearly came out of. It made a low of 810. We're far from that low. We're much closer to the B point of the correction. If it goes past that, I think it's going to take out that 1780 area. I'm very happy with the chart on this one. It looks like it completed an A, B, C correction and is now looking pretty damn good to me. Looking good. So let's see what the future brings. I want to see it take out this cluster of resistance right in here. I'll draw that. We're in a daily chart. It's funny how I've been in this one on and off since the bird flu days.
Yeah. Long time. That's a
long time. This one, yeah. 1370. All right, so that's where we have to cross 1370. Cross 1370. It looks like we're on our way to bigger and better things. And I'm telling you, I'm very suspicious of Gert with that PR. He doesn't just do fluff PRs. If he's coming out with that PR on leaps and coronavirus, you can bet there's going to be more behind it than just that one fluff PR. That's not Gert's style. So I'm counting on that as a near-term catalyst. And also the data is due any day now. I've been saying that for a couple of months, but you don't know. It certainly looks like it should happen any day. And once ICON releases the data, that's the CRO, they will probably spend a couple of weeks or more analyzing it, and then we'll know.
Yeah, so it looks like the market agrees with the coronavirus play. Yeah, and I agree with you. I think data is any day now as well.
Well, I mean, look at this upward spike on a very terrible market. We're now above the 50. Where did it close? I'm not sure if it actually closed above the 50. I got to expand the chart a little bit.
Any no,
It did not. Well, it did not close above the 50. It closed as a doji, but it did cross the 50, and it did not make a new low today. It did not make a new high either. So it's kind of an inside day. Not much happened, but it's up on the day. That's good. That's the good news.
Yeah, I mean the upward action is not just the press release. I agree with Heath.
Yeah.
Now,
All right, so we'll stop right here. I think we've gone almost an hour. So the others to look at are MESO and Floristem. And I think, did you say you bought some Floristem?
no.
No. PSTI. You did not?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. And the other one is MESO. That's also a coronavirus play, and it's also like ATHX. Where their main drug in trials is for myocardial infarction, as ATHX is ischemic stroke.
You have a time to do ATU as well.
What's that?
If there's time over, just do ATU as well.
ATU? All right, I'll go back in.
The testing kit company.
All right, ATU, sure. I own a fair amount of that, and so do you, right, Jay?
Yeah, apparently the shipment arrived in Houston like 2 days ago, and they're shipping it over to Colorado. And that they got emergency use approved for it, not FDA, but emergency use.
I think where it's gonna wind up being used is in doctors' offices. That'll be the main use of it.
Yeah,
somebody comes
in,
they're not totally symptomatic, they have mild symptoms. Doctor checks them for flu, doctor checks them for this. With a 10-minute test, right? 2 to 10. The chart is okay. I mean, it's holding the 200, and it's on the low end of its recent trading, but it's holding support. You know,
did offering this morning.
All I can say about the chart is it's okay. It's not a great chart. It's okay.
They did an offering this morning.
That's what suppressed the price, I guess.
Yeah,
but look, it's about to cross the 50 is about to cross the 100, so that's a positive. I mean, you know, I kind of like this one. I put my money where my mouth is. Look at the way it came all the way back down this day, bounced off the 50, and now it's finding great support at the 200. Technically, it looks okay, and you can argue that it's in a downtrend during this line, and you wouldn't be wrong if you look at this particular. I call it the treetops. You could argue it's in a downtrend, but then you can also argue it's forming a triangle right here. So you can draw a line right around here, and we see that it's trading in narrower range within a triangle. It's still it's not much of a triangle because it's a ways off. If it stays in this range, that's consolidation and very bullish. So if it doesn't go below the low of the closing low of 313, which was 115, if it stays above 115, even if it doesn't do much, it's still consolidating and looks good to make a run at some point. So if it fills in, what's my estimated date that it would fill this in? Like middle of April. You know this thing is going to peak around the middle of April. So it's going to be in tremendous demand there. So sometime before the middle of April, if this thing busts out of this triangle, I mean, time will tell. You got to look at this chart and watch it. See if it fills in this triangle or not. I'm going to stop sharing. I think we did a pretty good job covering some coronavirus stocks. TNXP is another one I really wanted to cover. One more? TNXP?
Yeah, throw it up there.
Let me do one more. I'm curious. I don't own it. I'm just curious to see that pop.
Yeah, the history of the company hasn't been the greatest. Loss of dilution. Management is okay, but did a good job today with the capitalizing on the coronavirus play.
Tonix Pharmaceuticals, a penny stock basically. It's come from nowhere to say with a proclamation that it's going to WHO with a vaccine. And it went up big time today. Look at this candle, big time. So is this a pump and a dump? It kind of looks like it.
In
but
the
who the heck
past,
knows?
it has been.
From the chart, you'd say pump and dump, goodbye, but you never know. You never know. It could be the real thing. Who knows? I mean, you see this great big candle on basically a fluff PR. So it looks a little suspicious, but you never know. So there's really not much for me to say from this. I think we've said it all, Jay.
Yeah.
We've said it all tonight. It's a serious situation.
Yeah.
Very serious situation with the virus. You and I underestimated it. You really underestimated it. It's a very serious situation. Even Donald Trump has come around to understand this, that it's serious.
Yeah, people were getting along more, this week there was some good progress. Chloroquine, it's pretty great. I believe in it.
I would like to see the FEMA come in and start building temporary hospitals next to major hospital centers, just like they did in China.
Yeah, I heard you're getting. I think Princess Cruise Line is donating some or lending some ships.
Yeah, probably they're contaminated with virus.
Yeah, probably. But the virus lasts, I think, maximum is like 48, 72 hours on the surface.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, you wait a couple of days. You should be.
There's no more Clorox wipes to disinfect, so you can't find them. You can't buy them for money. Good night, everybody. It's been a pleasure. I hope this virus goes away real quick. I hope the stock market turns around real quick. These are some hopes that I share with all of my viewers. I want to say goodnight to Dustin, Heath. I want to say goodnight to Jiggly. Jiggly, I didn't even see you, man. Oh, I don't know, Jiggly. I hope we've seen the bottoms. Hope we've seen it. I hope. Forget being analytical. I'm into hoping. I'm into praying. Forget the charts. This is serious times. Good night, Jackie. Good night, Alex. Alex had a request. I don't think we did it. I forgot what it was. I'm sorry, Alex, if we missed you on your request. All right, so until next week, please share this link, subscribe if you haven't already, write comments. And I like this. I like these thumbs up. I haven't been getting enough lately. I only got about 2 dozen. 2 dozen thumbs up. I want 3 dozen. Can I have 3 dozen? That would be fair. I mean, why not like us? We're nice guys.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Alex. Good night. I'm sorry I didn't chart AXSM next time, but it's doing well. I know it's doing well. All right, guys. See you next week. Be well. Everybody stay healthy.
Good night. Yep.
Good night.
Enjoy.